Uh-oh. They done it. Uh-oh. Well. We are here. To this day. Something just happened yesterday. Today is July 14th as I'm recording this, but something yesterday just took effect. Let me read it here. And it's very important. I was sent this email. And if you're in Indiana, this is who I'm speaking to. Other states may have adopted this, but other states may have not adopted this yet. But if you're in Indiana, it's here. It's now official. This, sorry for yelling at Mike like that. This is the email that I got. I don't know if you can really. Everything's backwards, so I'm gonna read it to you. Important note. Okay, let's learn how to read first, right? All right. Important notice regarding new rules for the practice of massage therapy in Indiana. If you're not in Indiana, this don't concern you, but eventually will if it hasn't already. Got it. But Indiana, as of July 13th, pursuant to IC 25-21.8-3. The Indiana State Board Massage Therapy has adopted the new rules for the practice of massage therapist and will require continuing education and transitioned the massage therapy certification to massage therapy licensure. That's where that is right there. Right? If you currently hold a massage therapy certification, there is nothing you need to do to transition to a license. Your state issued number will remain the same. These rules that were adopted by the Board of Massage Therapy goes into effect July 13th, 2022. This is now. This was given yesterday, and today is the 14th. Let's talk about what this means. In Indiana, there was a bill introduced to the state board and to the government with Eric Holcomb signed off on it in 2019. But 2017 was to implement a licensure. Hopefully I said it right because sometimes I don't. But a license to operate in as a massage therapist. Let's talk about right there. Prior, okay, as people doing massages, what this means is you have to understand the difference between certification and license. Certification doesn't always mean your license. Of course, it's two different words. But what I mean by that is a lot of people, certification is more based off of completion. You went through the necessary training to do something. You can get a completion. There's times where I went to school and people got a certification on completing the course to learn massage therapy, but they never got licensed because they didn't pass the state board to get their license to further operate practicing massage therapy. That's where we come into play here. So in 2017, prior to that, to be completely honest, you really didn't need to do training. It's recommended you do. It's suggested you do prior to then, and it's talking back in 2012, 2019. It really didn't matter because a lot of people, and this is why the industry is where it is right now. Hint, go listen to episode 7 when I talked to IWC. It's a lack of education. It's a lack of knowledge. It's a lack of anybody felt they can do massage. And it created the absolute biggest nonsense. No, I don't want to use the word nonsense. the biggest deception of it all when it comes down to massage therapy, of thinking that it's just a luxury rub that I hinted on time and time. I'm not going to beat the dead horse. I talk about it too many times. All you got to do is last episodes. So in 2017, they wanted to take it a lot more serious because you're not about to go to a hospital just because you watch a documentary on your favorite doctor doesn't mean you know how to operate as a doctor. Just because you knew how to do CPR doesn't mean you can perform surgery. Just because you played video games doesn't mean you know how to operate a motor vehicle. And even if you operate a vehicle, doesn't mean you know how to drive a semi. There's levels to all of this. And it starts with that certification. So with the certification, it's like, yeah, you need that. But the difference is if you got it, it just wasn't enforced that you had or have to have it at that time. This is why you have a bunch of people pretending to be massage therapy or therapists, pretending to give massages, and you seeing whatever they doing ain't doing nothing but putting on a hot bunch of grease and rubbing around skin. You do that in the shower washing yourself. That's all they doing. There's no difference. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong, that's soothing. That can be soothing in a way if people know what they're doing and go to YouTube University. But at the same time, it's much more to offer, but they don't know that because they look at it as a feel-good service. That's why you got all these foot spas around here. You got all these other places. There's even franchises that will let you work for them even if you don't have your license. The reason I know that, not putting out names, is they tried to hire me. But I knew better. This is years ago when I first got out of school. I'm like, I don't have my license yet. Don't matter. You start Monday. No, I don't. You're not going to jeopardize my license. You're not going to jeopardize that paper, which is also signed by Eric Holcomb. Like I said before, if you have been there, you should have this. And as you can see, okay, I mean, you should sign it too. But my license number's on here, my expiration date. It shows that I'm active right there. I don't know if you can see it. Number, date, all that stuff. It's right here. Indiana Professional Licensing Agency. You have to have this now to operate. And that just went into effect yesterday. Insurance card right behind that. That's like somebody you get pulled over and they ask your license or registration, please, and you ain't got none of that. What you think is going to happen? But like I said before, then they introduced that bill in 2017. It took 2 years. In the beginning of July 1st in 2019, Eric Holcomb signed off for it. It just wasn't implemented in or enforced. Why? Because of the pandemic, because of everything that's going on. It wasn't enforced yet, but we knew it was coming. And I graduated the same month that they signed off and enforced it. That's why I have mines early. And because I went through the licensing agency, I went through all of that to get it. But it comes back, like I said before, just because you know how you went to YouTube University don't mean you know how to do all this stuff. And the reason that they have implemented this in, right, is because they're trying to stop all the illegal sessions. They're trying to stop sex trafficking. They're trying to stop people from hurting other people because they don't know what they're doing. I done heard about one time, one therapist that's licensed was working on someone and they were trying to do a stretch and tore their rotator cuff. Just trying to stretch them out because they're pulling too hard. This is not light work and it's not a pat on the back. I'm not going to go further into that because we talked about it. But as of yesterday, it's been enforced. like I read to you before, if you have your certification and you went to where you were supposed to, right? You ain't got to do nothing. You good. If you got your license already, you good. This, if you don't have neither, is about to get ugly. Because now, expect a lot more raids to happen. Expect a lot more massage practices getting shut down because they don't have the necessary documentation, licensing, etc., what they need to operate. Like, it's illegal for you to call yourself a doctor if you don't have the doctrine. It's now going to be illegal to call yourself a massage therapist if you ain't got the license. You cannot do that. But other people don't know. They just selling sessions left and right like it's nothing because they look at it as a side hustle, and that's why you get all these crazy sessions. I'll leave that where it is. And all these people, oh, I want to get one of these sessions. I'll leave that where it is. It's about to change, which also reminds me of another thing. When all these places start getting shut down, what do you think the places that aren't shut down because they did what they were supposed to do and they have what they're supposed to have, what you think is going to happen? You pretty much can bet prices is going to start going up because now there's a demand because all these places are being shut down and now they got to find other places to go that are still remaining open. Prices going up. Not only that, there's an email that I posted on my page that I've talked about, right? And I say, when did I post that? I posted it not too long after I talked about the after the episode 7, right? And we talked about, let me see if I can find it here and I can read it to you. Yeah, here it is. In 2017, Indiana law HEA 1289 directed the transition of the profession of massage therapy from certification to licensure. In response, Governor Holcomb recently signed LSA, which is hashtag 21-507, which fully enact the Update Massage Practice Act and will transition certificate holders to fully licensed massage therapists. This law also creates continuing education requirements for future license renewal periods, basically to make sure we stay on top of our game. Iron sharpens iron. Right? And it's saying basically the rules will go into effect July 13th, 2020. All current certificate holders have until January 11, 2023 to update their information with the Indiana State Board of Massage Therapy, who will send information out detailing how to go about this process. This is an older email. I posted this back in June 24th. The AMTA and chapter, AMTA and government relations team and lobbyists and all this other stuff, right? So I posted that back in June 24, but now they, to make it easier, they just say you don't have to do nothing. Basically, when it's time to renew, that's when they get their license, or they can go through the process. And if some of them have to get that, or whatever the situation may be, if you don't have it yet, I advise you to get it. You got till January 11th. But now, what's not being discussed is now they're going to start enforcing it. Now that the license has been in place, now they can go there. Just like any other places that you have to have a license to operate, or you can lose your license, which means you can't do it. Right? If you're like Terminex or something like that, if you're like a bug exterminator, right? You got to have a license to do that. Right? You sit here, you can't be like, oh, let me borrow that. No, I'm not jeopardizing my license. I want to still continue to do my way of living here. You have to have a license to do that. Semis, you have to have a license. Doctrine, you have to have a license. All that goes through the state board, national exams, everything that you had to do to get that. Which brings me to one of my last points. Also, with this, we'll read something else. I saw a post on Facebook that I want to talk about that brings it to the license and what we went through to get this. This is what people don't understand. The long nights, the experience, the studying, the up all nights, the knowing anatomy, left in and outs, to handle situations, to help people, everything that we went through, the stress, the struggle, all of that stuff, the continuous test taking, day after day, week after week, studying for a national exam. Massage therapists go take exams along with doctors and nurses and everything. Anything medical field, we are a part of. This is why hospitals have massage therapists, or chiropractic office have massage therapists. We're on the same line. We just in a different scope within the industry, right? But I was reading this information that I found was interesting. Someone posted, and he also is an alumni. And he says, we all have to make money. Yes, but I have no interest in trickery memberships, no interest in having to discount my session, and no interest in the amount you tip. Most of the add-ons are complimentary because the benefits are that good. I only charge when I'm incurring additional costs. I often see high prices and tons of discounts with other therapists. This isn't Kohl's. Side note, if you're having to discount your sessions to get clients in, you're charging too much for your service you're providing. My prices are set. I base them on my continued education and experience, and for the community in which I serve, simple, reliable, transparent, affordable, inexpensive, reasonably priced. That's what he posted, this individual, right? And then someone that, good friend of mine, responded to it by saying 100% this. Could I charge $100 an hour for massage therapy? Sure, but I would lose far more deserving clients than I would gain. I set my prices fair and reasonable for a reason. I stay busy and profitable because clients can't afford regular weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, etc. treatments. I see their perspective. I see why they're saying that. And for the most part, I agree and disagree. I'm going to show you why. I agree on what they're saying. We need to make sure we do the best we can to help as many as we can. But where I disagree is there is a difference with this. There's a saying, we all went to the same school, and there's a saying that we can work on everybody, but that does not mean we should work on anybody, right? So far, they're talking about prices, and the reason I bring those two conversations up is based off of what just happened yesterday. Licensing just became an effect. A lot of places about to get shut down. And I'm not saying capitalize on that, but I am saying for the industry, franchise-wise, price is going to go up. Not just industry-wise. You already know we're having food shortages. You already know it's more struggle. Everything economy-wise is going up. Even the dollar store is $1.25. It's not even a dollar store anymore because it's $1.25. Everything is going up. Especially with this licensing, the practices and everything is going to follow suit. So yes, keep it affordable. I would love to do that. But there's two things you're not thinking about. One is if you're comparing to, when it comes down to massage therapy, you can't sit here and compare industry prices to your price. That's not fair. I'm not saying they're saying that, but a lot of people go off of that. Well, this company charges this, but what you're not understanding is you're 1-to-1, they're 10-to-10. It's a 1-to-1 session. Yes, that person you're working on is paying this, but you got to also comprehend there's 10 therapists doing that same hour in 10 rooms working on the same amount of people. So yeah, they can charge $65. Yeah, they can charge $70. And I'm not trying to get too much financial here. But yeah, they can charge that. But what you're not looking at is this company got 17 locations, or they say they got 10 locations charging $70. 10 people working, so each location is going to give you 700. Times that by 10, now you got 7,000 from that you'd have made if it's a full schedule from noon to 1 p.m. And you're not getting your full service, right? But you comparing just you don't have no employees, it's not times anything. And if they're multi-state, then you can imagine how much they're bringing in, right? So, with that being said, you can't sit here and talk about affordable prices because most of the affordable prices, the reason they're low is because they're not looking at quality. They're looking at quantity. They're looking at how many people they can get in. But if you're working for yourself and you're trying to compare yourself to that, it's just you and it's them times 17. That's what I don't agree with. Because we're the one in the industry providing that service. The reason they're there is to see you. And the reason they're there to see you is because they want to offer your service. Don't you think that's worth something? So I don't have that luxury yet. We're trying to build to the point of trying to redo everything the way it should be. But I don't have that luxury. And it's just me. And when you also compare that, what you're not comparing, both of these individuals have their own practices. But last time I checked, they don't have their own employees. I can be wrong. But I'm pretty sure it's just them working just like me. Which brings it into another situation. You can't compare yourself to that because companies you're comparing to is here. But everybody else, prices are already there. And the prices should be based off of two things. One, your environment. Let's start there. Now, if you're in an environment that's not pumping out that, you should be according to your environment. But your environment's going to rise in economy and prices stuff too. You should too. Because you didn't go through this to struggle for you to struggle. That's why I mean we can work on anybody, but it's not for us to work on everybody. There's so many of us here. I'm in the area, Fishers, Noblesville. I see vets and Lambos coming down here. My prices according to my environment. But that also brings me to number two. Number two is my quality. If you have good quality, and this is why I strongly disagree with both of them the most. It makes me feel as if either they're not that good. I know one is really good. I've traded sessions with the second statement I've read. I know she's great. And she's devaluing her service or however she wants to do this, her business. But if you put that or apply that, or you're just not that good. Now that's not, you know what I mean? I the other one, the first statement I read, I don't know. But you're either devaluing yourself or you're not as good as you think. You're not making, or I should say, you're not making a big enough impact to, because with great quality comes demand, right? Supply and demand. You're based off of your demand, and if you have to lower your prices or set it at a reasonable price just to get people in the door because you want to make sure your books are so full, then there's one of those three. Either you're not in that good of a location, or and if that's the location you want to be, that's cool. Is according to where you want to live off of. It's your business. Or your quality isn't up to par like you think. Or you don't really have the demand like you think. Now it's different if it's you and you're in a situation you have a partner to depend on. if you're married or family or whatever, and there's multiple people bringing in home incomes. But based off of if you're single, if it's just you, that can be a bit of a problem. That's what goes into this license. And it talks about you forget what we all went through to get where you are. No, I'm not trying to scam anybody. There's other ways of doing it and having great prices. That's not cheap prices just to get people in the door. I'm not trying to work on everybody. I only want to work on the ones that are serious, that I can that I'm having an impact on. If I can't help you, don't come here. But if you've come here and you experience and it helps you from a day to day, not just a session, but it made an impact on your day to day or your week to week, your month to month, I'm your guy. But if you're sitting up here, sitting around and thinking that just because, just to get people in the door and discounting, I'm not discounting nothing. Because that discount is not just a price. When you look at my prices, you look at my experience, you look at my quality, you look at what I do, you look at what I put in, you look at what I went through, you looking at what I keep to maintain. There's months where it's low, but that's the business. Nothing is consistent. Memberships for me, that's not out yet coming Black Friday, but memberships, and I'm only allowing 33 people to get in. Memberships, and it's going to be crazy, it's 4 levels. Memberships, oh man, you should definitely get the sound energy and everything like that. But memberships are for the ones who can make that commitment. I'm not discounting prices on memberships. I'm adding value to them. But apply that to anything, and I challenge those statements. Think about the car industry. Are Corvettes and Bentleys and Ferraris and Lamborghinis discounting their prices? Even if they discount them, it's still ridiculous. How about you? You want to keep it in the industry? Go to Four Seasons, go to Woodhouse, go to any of these other more upper echelon services. How much are they? And they got multiple people. And they stay busy. Why? Because you are only good to the point of what your client are willing to pay. If you're providing an upper echelon, this is what I mean to break that down. No offense, no disrespect to anybody. But if you're incredible, it doesn't matter what the client, and they will tell you, it doesn't matter to them what the cost is. A Bugatti is the price of the cost of a Bugatti. A Lambo is a Lambo. Louis Vuitton and Gucci and all these upper echelon stuff, it costs what it costs. Do you think people are complaining about it? Are they having difficulties getting clients? Is their business hurting? Even before, during, after pandemic, we went through all that. I still see they're making stuff. Now they may have a shortage, but they're not slowing down and they're not discounting anything. Why? Because people have valued those type of luxury vehicles. People have valued services. People have valued what they do. If they believe your brand lives up to its name, cost doesn't matter. And that does not mean you start trying to charge thousands for one session. I'm not saying that. But going back to my original statement, which means there's other ways to value this. For prime example, I'm pretty sure, do you give 100% of your time? I do. That has a value in itself. When they come here, each client they come here, they know they're going to get all their time and maybe a couple of extra minutes. All because I do value them and I do want to help them to my fullest capability. Do you think I'm sitting up here? Ask any of my clients. Have I sit up here and say, would you like to add synergy stones today? No. Matter of fact, my add-ons are from word of mouth. Because most of my clients has been referred by another client, and they sit here and say, hey, I heard about them synergy stones. Oh, would you like to try it? Then I let them try it. And even when I let them try it, guess what? They can try it for free. Why? Because I don't want my clients spending a penny on something that's not going to help them, or something that they don't benefit off of, or something they don't like. That is the trickery or tricky membership you're referring to. Not here. Set your prices accordingly. Yes, my prices do go up. My review says I'm worth more. What people are saying, I'm getting feedback that says that I'm worth more. When I was operating under the industry, guess what? And they found out what I was making. They found out that therapists only really makes $20 to $25 per session. I mean, even think about it. The reason why a lot of these franchises are advertising $65, $70, those are membership prices. But if you go in and you're not a member, and you go in there and you sit in here, you get a session, but you've been there before, guess what? You're paying $135 to $150 for the same person that has a membership paying $65, $70 for. So what are you talking about? It's not trickery. You have to understand we are doing business. You have to understand your value and what you bring to the table. You have to understand your environment and where you place that. And you have to understand the quality and what your demand is for the clientele that comes to you. If they feel they can get what you deliver from anything else, from any other place, because you're not doing much different, you're just trying to do it and get all the money yourself, then of course, keep your prices low. But if you in value and they understand your value and they feel that anytime, a lot of my clients that comes to me, anytime they go anywhere else, they think about what I do. They think about what I put in. They think about how I help them. They think about my impact of what I do for that session and how they feel, not just after that day or after that session, for the rest of the day, for the rest of the week, if not 2 weeks. They can't go anywhere else and get what I provide. That's why my prices are more, because I give more value. There's more demand on what I do. I have a more of an impact. These people, the industry ain't thinking about doing this. From this podcast and trying to give information and try to do this, to learning sound energy where I'm doing it, to learning these raindrops so I can give it, to learning everything because I want to give back that much more. It's not a money thing. It's an impact thing. I want to be able to help my client every day possible if I can. I'm not just trying to have a massage session. I'm trying to be a part of their day to day. I'm more value with that alone, because nobody, including you all speaking these statements, are doing that. I'm busting my butt out, sleepless nights, running the business, trying to market, trying to see how I can do people like how what I can do to help people as best way I can. I just see what you don't get is this. Let me show you something else. This is what you don't get. It's all based off of your value. This is what you don't get. I just got accepted. Where is it? I'm gonna show you on my email, right? I got an email showing as I'm doing this of trying to figure out how to do everything I'm doing. It says, let's see. Well, that's multiple because it's multiple of them. I want to go to the direct one right here. I don't know. I know you can see that, and if you can see that green, you know that's Hulu. You know that says Alonzo right there. Let me read this to you. Alonzo, we're pleased to share that Hulu has approved the Zodiac experience to advertise on Hulu. Who's doing that? I'm about to record a video just to put on Hulu to reach out. Soon you will receive an email from Hulu, and that's the other ones I was going through on Hulu with the subject line, please activate your Hulu Ad Manager account. In that email, you will find a link to log into Hulu Ad Manager. Instructions to go green. As you say, the keyword is that we are pleased to share that Hulu has approved the Zodiac experience to advertise on Hulu. It's not a game over here. We ain't playing. I go all out for each and every one of my clients, way not just starting from this table to infinity and beyond. That's why my prices are the way they are. Because that's the type of stuff I'm putting in. Right here. I would say read it for yourself. But you see Hulu right there at the top. And if you can pause it, if I can get it clear, it says it right here. The word approved is that very first word on this second line. Approved. The Zodiac experience. The Zodiac experience. Says it right here in the title. The Zodiac, if you can read backwards, the Zodiac experience approved for Hulu Ad Manager. We ain't playing. I'm out here for the masses. I'm out here to help everybody. I'm staying here. I ain't going nowhere because this is how you know if you really care. And this is kind of off subject, but it goes back to that license. This is what's unfair. The stuff that I'm doing, you got other people that didn't have, not even did a sample of what I did out here doing whatever, and they're being treated as if they're equal to me and what I put in. No, they being I keep the fair price. No, I strongly believe, and this is what it goes down to. This is the real. If you take care of your clients, they will take care of you. I am a living proof. You have no idea how much I put out. I'm talking sleepless nights. There are people that know behind the scenes of how much I put out for each and every one of my clients. And you're talking about people charging too high. You're talking about this economy. We're now in the licensure. We're now getting the respect starting as of yesterday. We're not getting the respect that we deserve for the ones that are true, that has the license to do this, that put in the work to do this, that went through all this stuff to do this, that's not doing all this nonsense, that's having an impact on life. Everybody's not equal. I bust my butt for this. And some people may do, okay, I do a license, I gotta practice. Come on, people. They get their people, they impact the lives around them, and guess what? They move. I'm sorry, we're going to Phoenix. I'm sorry, we're going to Florida. I'm sorry, we're going to California. I'm sorry, we're going to Atlanta. But what you're not thinking about is what about them clients that depends on you, that found you, that you helped them. Now you're going out because it's only business to you, right? You're going out to try to live your best life or try to increase your prices by putting yourself in a better environment or however, right? to turn around and leave them hanging. I'm not leaving my clients. I want to expand and go global if we possibly can. But I tell you what, all my clients know I'm right here too. That's because that's how much I care. Zodiac Experience will stay in Indiana for as long as I'm breathing. As long as the clients that come to me, not as long as the clients that come to me don't have to worry about me up and lifting or up and leaving. It will stay here because I know it depends. They depend on me too. They ain't got to worry about it. That's what you call value. And I did it the right way, getting a license, like everybody else should. You're going to feel a type of way if somebody's cutting the line and they didn't wait as long as you wait. You're going to feel like you're going to feel a type of way if somebody's doing something they ain't supposed to be doing and trying to act like they're doing what you're doing just because they went to YouTube University and you ain't put in the amount of work that you put in. They ain't put in the amount of studying that you put in. They ain't put in the amount of the continuing education that you put in. That's what this license episode is about. The people that ain't done it right or went through the proper channels to get what they got, shut down. Uh-oh. Time up. Now, I'm not saying everybody, you know what I'm saying, but if you're doing it the right way, we ain't worrying about you. And if you haven't done it the right way, just know it's in place. Whatever happens from this point forward is none of my business. I'm going to continue to focus on my clientele, continue to focus on what I'm focusing on, because that's what it's about. And if you appreciate that, we'll be on Hulu soon. If you got Hulu, do not be surprised if you see your therapist, the Zodiac Experience, putting out videos and ads to do that. As well as Google ads, as well as Facebook ads. We're going everywhere with this. Only blessings come to the ones that are deserving to have it. Well, that's the way it should be. Then there's blessings to come to try to turn people around. There's blessings that people get because of grace. I put in the work. I'm just happy and thrilled. I can't be any more grateful to each and every single one of my clients. Even if you are not my continuous clients, if you came here before the Zodiac Experience, I am so grateful for you. And even if it's only been one time, I'm grateful. Because you gave me a chance to see if I can help. And I'm never going to be mad if I wasn't able to help much. That's fine. It happens. Like I said, I can work on anybody, but that doesn't mean I'm for everybody. Which creates demand, creates value, creates different, create uniqueness, creates everything what we're doing now, which dictates in the price, dictates in the location, dictates in what I can do and what I'm doing it for and everything. Everything affects it. And it all comes down to because I did the right thing, got my license. So when a wave and storms and raids and all this stuff starts happening, we ain't got to worry about it. We're here. We're legit. I do this. This filth. I'll take that down. Right? So, with that being said, I kind of sweated a little bit. I didn't think I was going to get into it like that, but I did. Sorry for the rant, but I wanted to make sure that we got all the understanding. If you're not licensed to do this, you shouldn't be doing this. And don't do it. But I can't tell anybody what to do. You do your own thing. But I'm just saying you shouldn't be. And if you are, be proud of how far you've came. And don't devalue yourself. Because what you have and what you've learned and what you practice is worth value and is valuable. And it should reflect in your business from prices to everything your business have to offer. It's not about pricing. We help everybody we try to help. But don't think we're not also a part of this economy trying to survive. Because we are. It costs to keep this going. just like it costs the grocery stores. It costs. Everybody will adapt. The curbside pickup never existed until COVID. The world will adapt. And it's not trickery if you're that good. If that's your quality worth, if that's what you're bringing in, it's not trickery. You are deserving of it. I have way more clients. I'd have been to events and they don't even know what I get paid. They felt so amazing. They said, whatever it is, you deserve more. I don't care what it is, it's not enough. Off of how you just helped me. You can't put a price to that, ladies and gentlemen. That's priceless. But you got to charge something because you got to keep everything going. You got to live. You got to take care of yourself so you can be the best version of yourself, resyncing back to yourself to help humanity. With that being said, make sure you got your license if you're doing this. If not, And remember to resync back to yourself. Thank you for tuning in. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you share, like, comment, and subscribe so you can get notified on the new uploads to the channel. If you're watching this on my website, thezodiacexperience.com, make sure you join the email list where you can get notified on new episodes or even a chance to join the live show, me and the audience, and even get some cool gear like this jacket and shirt. If you're listening to this on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple, iTunes, whatever you are, make sure you follow so you can get notified as well. And last but not least, if you're not following me on any of the social platforms, IG, Facebook, TikTok, etc., everything is at the Zodiac Experience. All the links, everything else could be found down below. Appreciate you tuning in. Once again, thank you. And remember to resync back to yourself.